The new FIFA video game has officially released, or should I say EAFC. So I thought let's do something a little bit different on the channel. Let's go and check out the new ratings on EAFC 24 for the Seattle Sounders. Are the ratings any good? Are they bad? Are they not accurate? I mean, most likely they're probably not going to be that great. So I thought it would be fun to go check it out, you and me together. And of course, if you love content surrounding the best team in MLS, the Seattle Sounders, from news and transfers to reactions from fans and fan cams, and anything in between talking about the club, make sure you are subscribed and let's get into it. So pulled up next to me on the official EAFC 24 page, we have the Seattle Sounders FC 24 player ratings. And we'll probably just go from top to bottom, obviously top being the highest rated Sounders player to bottom being, the lowest rated Sounders player. And I have had like a quick glimpse at this when the Sounders post about like our top 5 rated players or so, or just some players. And I haven't really dove in that deep at all into the ratings nor the stats or anything like that. Obviously, I think the main thing I'll be looking at is the overall ratings of the players. Not really much with stats unless, EA do an EA and they give a player ridiculously bad stats where obviously they're a lot better at. For example, with Jordan Morris, he's fast as fuck, as we all know. And so if he has anything less than maybe 90 pace, he's got 70 pace because they chopped off a leg or some shit like that, that's where I'll be upset. But main focus will be the overall ratings. And I have the previous year's ratings pulled up as well. So we'll see what players went up, went down from last year. And of course, it's going to be based off of the 2023 season because it's kind of funky because we're near the back half of the season when the new FIFAs come out, or sorry, the new EAFCs come out. I got to get used to saying that because it's not called FIFA anymore. So I think it will be mainly based off of last season going into this season is my guess. So 2023/2024. Nonetheless, though, pulling up the first player, it is Raúl Ruidíaz, who is our highest rated player, which right from the get-go probably shouldn't be the case. I think Raúl's obviously I think he's definitely the poster boy when it comes to Seattle, the Seattle Sounders. When you talk about the best player for poster boys, they put him on the front page when it comes to, well, let's say the LAFC is facing off against the Seattle Sounders. Most likely it'll be Bouanga or Vela with Raúl Ruidíaz next to him. And obviously he's the crowned jewel of Peru. And he's our highest rated player, 77 rated from last year. Let me see. He was 78 rated, so he did get a 1 overall downgrade. The downgrade was definitely warranted because these past 2 years have probably been his worst 2 years as a Sounders player. And I'd probably say 77, 76. I think he should just be a gold. So 75 is the cutoff for a gold player. I think 77 is a little bit generous, just a 1 overall downgrade. I mean, he was okay last season. What, he hit 8 goals, I want to say, 8 or 9 goals. It was okay for him, but he should just be a gold card. In regards to who I think our highest rated player should be is it should be this man who is our 3rd highest rated player, and that is João Paulo. Last year, let me find it. Last year he was a 75. He got an upgrade to a 76. Fair enough. I do think 76 should be our highest rated player. I think Raúl should probably be a 75. Nico, 76, second highest rated player. Last year, Nico was a 79. Oh, so Nico got a -3. To be fair, I think that downgrade's kind of warranted. In my opinion, I think Nico as well should be a 75. I think Nico and Raúl are such big fall-offs for these two players. Definitely. I mean, we've spoken about it numerous times. I think they should just be 75. I think JP should be a 77. I think he is by far the Seattle Sounders' best and most consistent player. Next up is Cristian Roldan, who is a 75, and he's a right mid, which I'm surprised about. But there's the whole, you can change positions if they can. Obviously, it doesn't look like I have that. The positioning changes up on here as well. Obviously, it has play styles, in-game stats, and whatnot. Last year for Cristian Roldan, he was a 75, stayed 75. Probably pretty warranted. He didn't have a spectacular season, so he stays the same rating. It also says what they've increased and decreased. Nico got a -4 with pace. I mean, he's not very fast at all anymore. Cristian got a +3 in pace. I think Cristian just hustles so much. So I think 75 is fine for Cristian. Yeimar, he's a silver. Okay, so don't be fooled because everyone is showing up as a gold. But don't be fooled because they're not, and not everyone's a gold card. We wish in a perfect world, every Sounders player is a gold card in FIFA, but not in this situation. Yeimar, 74. Looks like he's got a beastly card for a silver, 85 physical. Last year, Yeimar was a 76. So he got a -2 downgrade? So he went from a gold to a silver? No offense, but if any players deserve to go from a gold to a silver, maybe it was Raúl or Nico. I don't think Yeimar deserved to go from a gold to a silver. I still think he's a good center back. I think he's one of the best. Like he's in that like top 5 to 10 in MLS when it comes to center backs. Could be because he's like such a beast, such an imposing figure. So that could be why. But yeah, Yeimar going from a gold to a silver. Granted, it's just a -2 downgrade, but geez, I'm a little bit surprised to see that. Next up is Albert Rusnák, who went from a 74 to a 74. So he got a no upgrade downgrade. He's got a 5-star weak foot. That's pretty good, like in-game stat right there. But I think probably Albert deserved a -1 because he didn't have a spectacular season for us. Granted, he was playing CDM. But yeah, I think maybe a -1 wouldn't be the worst. 74, I think is pretty fair for him. Stefan Frei, 72, last year being a 73. Did Steph really deserve a -1? He was probably our best player last year. In my opinion, I think Steph should be a 74 overall rated player. Because when you look at like the top goalkeepers in MLS, who I actually have no idea who's the highest rated one. Let me actually I'll quickly Google it. So I'm going to cut this part of me searching it up.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
So from my research, it looks like Andre Blake is the highest rated goalkeeper at 78. I know Andre Blake, I mean, he's probably for consistency wise is probably the best goalkeeper in MLS. And when you think about the Philadelphia Union, you think about their defense and Andre Blake being the staple of it. But I feel like, in my opinion, like Blake and Frei are like, I think they've been like the consistent standard when it comes to goalkeepers in MLS for sure. I think that them two have been that. And the fact that Frei and Blake have a 6 rating difference, like that's a lot. That's a big rating gap for the fact that I think Frei is definitely up there when it comes to the top goalkeepers in MLS. Granted, there is an age gap between the two of them. Obviously, Blake being younger than Frei, but I don't feel like that should play a part for ratings. But I think 72 is criminal for Frei. So far, I think that's the harshest rating of the bunch. 72 overall. Next up is Jordan Morris with a 72 overall rating. Last year, he was also a 72. I think was the Sounders' leading goal scorer in MLS with like 6 odd goals. He kept his rating. I'd probably say 72 is fair for him. I mean, what's hilarious is he has a 2-star weak foot. I personally would put it at 1 because he never uses his left foot if he had a choice to. He's got 88 pace. He got a +4. What? Last year he was slower? Yeah, last year was 84 pace. Nouhou, 71 overall. Last year was 71. I think he deserves a little bit more of a bump up for the fact that he also played in the World Cup. So I thought maybe there's like going to be some like World Cup tax added on in regards to adding up to his rating. Because when players have a decent World Cups, usually it helps them. He played obviously in all 3 of Cameroon's group stage matches at the World Cup. I think Nouhou should be like a 72. I think maybe he just deserved a +1, +2. Next one is Obed, our new signing, was at NYCFC last season. He had an okay year. He was a 68, gone up to a 69. Probably should be a lower rated card. He didn't have a great season last year with NYCFC. I mean, NYCFC fans were happy that the Sounders bought him, that we bought him. So, that's probably not the greatest sign if that's the case. If another team's like, let's go, we sold Obed to the Sounders. Like, it's probably not the greatest thing. Montero, 69 overall. Last year was a 71, got a -2. Probably fair. Sad to see. He got a -4 on pace. Dude, look at that. Just flat out, just minuses all across the board for Fredy. Hard to see. Still got 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Not too shabby. Javi, 68 overall from last year being a 68. Probably should get a bigger downgrade, in my opinion, for the fact he was crucial for our CCL run, but outside that, his game time's like dwindled a lot last season. So I think he should probably have gone like maybe like at least a -1, maybe a -2, to like 66 overall. Because Javi doesn't really play for us anymore. He's one of our top earners, but he doesn't play. Alex Roldan, 67 overall, last year being 67. I think that's fair. I don't think he should go up. I don't think he deserves to go down. Liao Chu from a 66. Okay, he stayed the same overall rating. Wasn't a great year for him. I arguably, honestly, would maybe give him like a -1 or 2 from last season to this season, because last year he pretty much didn't play like at all. And when he did play, he didn't play too great. Obviously, his confidence seemed like it was hurting quite a bit. Next up is Stefan Cleveland, from a 64 to a 64. I do think Cleveland deserved a bit of an upgrade. Every time he's played for us, I think Cleveland has been Stonewall. He's probably the best backup goalkeeper, hands down, in MLS. Every time he comes in, absolute champ. Obed Vargas, 64 overall. Last year, he was a 64. I'm a little bit surprised because last year was a breakout year for him. So I thought maybe Obed would have gone, maybe, especially for young players, if they have like breakout years, usually like EA give them like kind of bigger upgrades. So I'm surprised he kind of stayed from a 64 to a 64. Probably would have given him like a 67. I would have given Obed a +3. He was probably one of our shining lights last season in the team. Next up, Kelyn Rowe, who's a left back. Oh, they straight up changed Kelyn Rowe's position. So last year he was a 65. Now he's a 63. He got a -2. I think that's fair. I think that's hilarious. They changed his position to left back. Dude, the guy's played everywhere. Right mid, center mid, CDM, left back. That's crazy to me. Josh Atencio, 62 overall, from last year being a 62 as well. Probably fair. I mean, he's definitely started off this season really well, so it's been a really good year for Josh. So maybe a +1, I think, wouldn't have been the worst. AB went from a 60 to 61, so AB got a +1. Obviously was this season and last season Tacoma Defiance's best center back. I don't think that plays a role in EA ratings, I don't think, but he was Tacoma Defiance's best center back, so I think +1's deserved in that regard. Ethan Dobbelaere, 57 overall. Last year was a 56, so he got a +1 as well. Reed Baker-Whiting, is a right wing back now this year. Last year, I think Reed was a center mid, so that he got a position change in a +4. He is the biggest upgrade from all Sounders players. Got a 5-star weak foot too. Hella sleeper card right here is Reed. Jesus, his card looks sick. But yeah, Reed got a +4 rating. So Reed Baker-Whiting was the biggest upgrade the Sounders got, and our lowest rated player being Dylan Tevez with 55 overall rating. And last year he was 55 as well. Last year, our lowest rated card was actually Reed Baker-Whiting at 51 overall. So, hey, we've increased that overall rating. So, pretty impressive. That's the ratings. I mean, biggest ones that I just don't think are deserved. Stefan Frei, I don't think deserves to be a 72. I think he should be a higher rated player. Ruidíaz should not be the Sounders' highest rated player, but he is. Reed Baker-Whiting being the highest bump in ratings from all the players. I do think Obed deserved a bit bigger of an upgrade as well. Like, I think he deserved that same treatment as Reed, because if anything, Reed's having a really good season now. Obed last year was probably one of our shining lights. Like, the big plus to last season was Obed Vargas till he got injured. I don't know. I don't think the injury should damper that or play an effect in him not getting a bigger rating overall. But yeah, I guess that's going to be the end of today's video. Boys and girls, what were your guys' thoughts on the Seattle Sounders EAFC 24 ratings? Do you think any player should have had a higher rating, lower rating, better stats, or should have gone a bigger upgrade or a bigger downgrade from the Sounders? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this type of video where I kind of implement that video game, lifestyle stuff with our Sounders content, obviously it'll be Sounders related, but if you guys like content like this, a little bit something for fun till we have our next match against St. Louis, I thought this would be a fun video to put out on the channel as it's Sounders relevant. I know I probably bet a fair amount of you play the FIFA EAFC video game, because I used to play it quite a bit. I stopped pretty much playing the game as of like a year or two ago. Very seriously, I used to love playing FIFA, but now for me, don't really got time, sadly, to play it anymore. And plus the game, I think, is absolutely garbage now. But that's, again, a whole other discussion for a whole other time. But yeah, boys and girls, make sure to smash the like button on today's video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And be prepared for the upcoming watch along for our final match on MLS Decision Day against St. Louis City SC. So make sure you turn on notifications so you know when I'm live for that watch along. If you guys enjoyed our previous watch alongs, we'll be doing them for all of our away matches in the playoffs for however far we go. Any of the away matches, I will be live. I will be doing a watch along for them. So make sure you're subscribed. And boys and girls, I hope you all have a lovely day.